Today we are going to be making a sweater. We are going to be crocheting a sweater specifically. So I went to Michael's yesterday and picked up a bunch of yarns that I just thought were pretty together, that would look really nice in a sweater. I had a $5 off coupon and I wanted to use it before it expired. And so I ended up with like way more yarn than I needed. So you know how that works. So this is the color scheme I'm going for. I think these colors will go super nice together. And I really, really like these two. This skein specifically has like really nice shades of green in there with like purple and maroon. And then this, and I thought this sand colored one would kind of tie everything together. These specific yarns I'm using will be linked in the description box. I have 7 skeins of yarn total. 3 skeins that are 246 yards and 4 skeins that are 109 yards. They're all weight 5 yarn. And the smaller skeins say to use an 8mm hook, but the larger ones say to use a 6mm hook. So I have both. It just depends on what you're going for. If you want the stitches to be more compact or if you want like a looser stitch. So I might kind of test out both and see which looks better and then go with that one. So we'll see. You will also need some scissors and a yarn needle. Also a tape measure for taking measurements of your garment. Look how pretty these yarn colors are together. I'm literally so excited to make this sweater. And for the record, I know I have never made a sweater before. This is my first attempt. So I don't know yet if I'm going to be using a pattern or just kind of going for it. I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna go check online real quick to see if I can find any patterns or anything, any guidance basically on making this sweater, and then I'm just gonna go from there and I'll let you know what I'm doing. I've decided to use the 6.5mm K hook, and I'm gonna basically just start by doing a slip knot and chaining, I'll do 8 chains for the ribbing, and then I'm going to just slip stitch into each chain, turn my work and slip stitch into the back loop of each chain, repeat, turn, 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 and that's how I'm gonna get my ribbing until it's long enough to fit around my waist. So yeah, I'm just gonna repeat. I'm gonna see how many rows that it's gonna take me to get there. I'm aiming for like 35, 36 inches for this. I gotta pick out my color too for the ribbing and decide what I wanna do. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have options to choose from. I'm not sure which I want to go for yet. Well, you'll see when I start crocheting. Okay, so I started the ribbing, but I'm not really a fan of it. This is with 8 chains, and then you skip the first chain and do the slip stitches. It's just not like tall enough for me. Like I don't like how it's turning out, so I'm gonna undo it and I'm gonna attempt to do like more chains and then maybe single crochets instead of the slip stitches, because I'm not really in love with how this is looking. Truly a travesty. I just fell asleep for a little bit. Prior to falling asleep, I did this much of the ribbing with the single crochets and I like this so much better, so I'm going to continue with this. And I did 9 stitches in length. Okay, so I got pretty far into my ribbing when I realized that I was doing front loops only for my single crochets, not back loops. So I just switched it and tried to do the back loops to compare what it would look like. This is back loops, single crocheting into the back loops only. This is all front loops, and it definitely does look better single crocheting into the back loop. So guess what? I'm taking that all apart and redoing it this way. All right, so I actually ended up taking apart half of my ribbing, because basically instead of doing just like the whole ribbing, it makes more sense to have a front panel and a back panel when making this sweater. So I just made 2 equal lengths bottom ribbings and tied them off. So there they are. Mine are each 18 inches about. And now I can start on making the front panel, building up from the ribbing. A little check-in, here's my front panel so far. Front or back, it's not gonna matter. You can, you know, reverse your sweater, but I've just essentially been doing half double crochets all along. And then when I get to the end, I chain 1, turn my work, half double crochet, chain 1, turn my work. And that's all I've been doing, half double crocheting just through like both legs of the stitch. And I've been just color switching as I go and kind of like making a random pattern here. And I'm at around, I think, 14 inches. I'm gonna go until the top of the sweater reaches the bottom of my neck, and then I'm gonna start creating the neckline. So that's where we're at. And I like how it's coming out so far. I kind of wish I started some of the white color down here more, but honestly, it's okay. It's meant to be like random and not make much sense. So yeah, I really like the color so far, and I'll catch you guys when it's time to start the neck. I really like this green color here. It's adding a nice pop of color to the sweater. I mean, the whole sweater's pretty colorful, but it's adding a nice pop that I feel like it needs. I wish I incorporated this color sooner, but I kind of forgot about it as I went. And I mean, it matters that I'm adding it now, and I can always add more of it to the back panel and to the sleeves and all that. But I'm debating right now what I want to do about my collar and what I want to do about my collar and like the ribbing on the sleeves. Like, do I want to keep it the same green color that I have on the bottom here, or do I want to like change it up and do like different colors for the sleeve, a different color for the collar? I don't know yet. I mean, I'm kind of making it random, so doing the different colors wouldn't be a bad idea. And I do like working this half double crochet stitch because I feel like it works up fast, and you know, I'm not like a super speedy crocheter, but it is a faster stitch to do than other stitches. So, you know, I am not mad at it. The only thing that took a long time with this sweater has been like the fact that I've not been following really a set pattern. So I've been going back and undoing my work and redoing and things like that. So that's really what's taking the majority of the time. Look how pretty that pop of color is. I definitely wish I added that sooner. I'm gonna keep going with that, but I figured I'd show you guys what I mean. Like, I started the back panel, and as you can see, I experimented and kind of put like more half double crochets in this, and obviously like the shape is not good. So this is getting taken apart and redone. So there's like a little example of what I mean and what's been so time consuming. But it is what it is. I'm trying to learn as I go, and I'm not trying to follow like an exact science. I'm kind of like taking little pieces of instruction and advice from different people's videos or different people's patterns. So we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it works and is not a mess. All right, so now I've got the front and back panels complete. As you can see, I made sure that when I was half double crocheting that I just added as many rows as it took to reach the length of my front panel. My front panel was about like 17.5 inches, and then when I added the shoulder pieces here, they were like about 4 inches. So just to give you the instruction for this, row 1, you're gonna do a decrease. So you stitch, 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 half double crochet, leave the last 2 stitches open, do your half double crochet decrease into that stitch that you marked off, and then you chain 1, you turn your work, and you just do normal half double crochets, chain 1, turn your work on row 2. Row 3, then you're doing another decrease, and then row 4 you're not, row 5 you are doing a decrease, and then you basically just go back and forth with the decreasing and normal rows until this part here reaches the top of your shoulder. Now I need to stitch these pieces together, but I also have to create the sleeves. So what I'm going to do is go take measurements for how long the sleeves should be for my sweater. So you can do that by like holding this front panel up and then taking a tape measure and measuring from your wrist to this part of the front panel. Hopefully this turns out okay, because obviously like these shapes are a little wonky. Because the yarns I use they're both weight 5 yarn, but they're a little different in like actual thickness, so it kind of created some like wavy wonky parts where I used this yarn. So we'll see. See, even on this one, oh well. We've reached a difficult point in this journey because I have to turn back. I've kind of just not been recording all the steps, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. The issue is that, first of all, this neck is like way too wide, and then although the sleeves fit, as you can see, they still fit. I wish I would have increased more throughout the process. I increased to a certain point here, and then I just left it straight. So what I'm going to do is, I literally sewed it all on too. Okay, I'm gonna remove the sleeves and pretty much start over with the sleeves, and I'm going to increase them all the way as I go until I feel like I've gotten to a point where the sleeves are wide enough to the point where they'll cover more ground here in the armpit, because I feel like the sweater is so wide. The sweater is very wide, and since the sleeves are not wide enough, it's making it like bunch up in a weird way. Whereas if the sleeves were nice and wide, then we wouldn't have that issue. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know what I'm going to do about the neckline, because I think that fixing the sleeve, I think the sleeve is dragging down that part. So like there's really nothing I can do about this. This is like, this can go up like that. It's just that the sleeve is dragging it down. So I'm going to fix the sleeves, and then hopefully that'll fix all the issues I'm having with the sweater right now. And then I'm going to like make the ribbing on the neckline. So hopefully that fixes the issues. I don't know. I stayed up till 2 a.m. last night trying to, you know, get the sleeves on and everything, and I've just been working on this for a couple weeks now, when I have the time, and I just want to finish it. And I don't know, maybe I just made the body panels too wide. I did make them a little wider than I'd ideally like in hindsight. However, I'm definitely not going back and undoing the body panels. That would just be way too much work at this point. Although in hindsight, a little less on the body panels and more stitching on the sleeves. That's what I would do in the future. But it's all a learning lesson. It's my first sweater. I did 26 half double crochet stitches for the sleeves. So I'm gonna have to increase that for sure. So I will catch you guys when I'm fixing this or after, who knows, honestly. Good news, guys, the sweater fits. I'm not gonna show you like the sweater yet because I want to save that for the grand reveal at the end, but it does fit. The sleeves fit, thank God, because honestly, if they didn't, there was no way I was gonna undo them, redo them, and put them back on. anytime soon. It probably would have pushed the project forward a couple months because I would have been so annoyed with it that I wouldn't have finished it anytime soon. But it fits. Here's a little sneak peek of the sleeves. I'm so happy. Bad news is it's not the perfect fitting sweater, but I'm just happy that the sleeves work out at this point. And now I have to do the neckline and weave in the ends, and then the sweater will be done. I have been doing alternating front post and half post single crochet stitches to try to achieve the ribbed effect on the neckline, and it creates like a nice sturdy neckline, which is good. All right, so I am officially done with my first ever crochet sweater. I have not tried it on yet, all complete with the ends woven in and everything, and I'm so excited because this took a lot of work. I feel like now if I was to make a sweater in the future, it would not be as time consuming maybe, since I kind of know what I'm doing, but there's so many different ways to make them. But here's the finished product. Here it is. I really love how the neckline came out, and I reinforced it a lot when weaving in the ends. And I just think it's super colorful and different, and it's something you're not gonna buy at the store. It's one of a kind, and yeah, I'm really excited just to wear this. And yeah, I hope you guys liked following me along the journey of making my first sweater. Here's the back. Ta-da! Here is the complete sweater. Here's the neckline. The sleeves. It's a bit poofy kind of in the back, but it's not bad. You can like fold it over kind of and tuck it if you need to. I wish maybe I would have made the waist a little shorter, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine. There are definitely things about it that I would change next time I make a sweater, but yeah, again, for my first sweater, I'm really not mad at it. It's a cool piece that I'll have, and I'll know that like I made a piece I can wear from a ball of yarn. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and following me along the journey of making my first ever crochet sweater. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.